Gamble on these baits.
All right, so yeah, on today's episode of I'm Just Asking for a Friend, I wanted to talk about fear of success. Now, fear of success it's not the fear of rejection, it's not the fear of failure, it's not any of these fears. It's fear of succeeding, it's fear of doing well. And why is this important, and why do people have it? And when I started asking myself those questions, I really just started. I had to go back. I had to go back to childhood. I had to go back to being a very young person, and a little bit about my history. I was in advanced classes and all that other stuff or whatever. So it's like basically at like a young age, I kind of started learning like, when you start doing well, it basically separates you from the majority of people. It separates you from some of your friends. It separates you from different people and stuff like that or whatever. And basically, I've started to I've realized this now, but I've started to equate, like I was equating as a young person, like that my success was somehow alienating me. My success was somehow getting me, it was separating me out from everybody or whatever. And having the need and the desire to want to like fit in and do all these different things or whatever, success can be a problem to that. Success, doing well can be a problem to that. Doing more than someone, there can be problems. I mean, I know a lot of people see this like even in the workplace sometimes. Like if you're just doing your job, if you do too much, there's gonna be people that are like, oh, whoa, slow it down a little bit. You're just trying to outdo everybody here. Like, hold on, don't make us all look bad. So there's this idea that's in society as a whole where it's like if you do too well, you're making everybody else look bad. And I didn't realize how much I had internalized this, as a person or whatever. And I've been just doing some reflections and stuff like that, and seeing like, wow, this is a part of my psyche that I've held on to for so long. So like even when I've been going into the business, I've been doing Alex for photography and videography, doing being a photographer and stuff like that, and doing videography. And it's like I see the signs of myself doing things to hold myself back in a sense. And this is like been my first year in business, so I've been doing some reevaluation stuff, and I've noticed this tendency. So I think just on this, I just wanted to try and basically just to get into some of the advice of what people can do to lessen this, to lessen the effect of that. And I think that it's very important for you to kind of just realize first and foremost, where does this thing spring from? Where does this come from? And where do these ideas come from or whatever? Because at the end of the day, like I think that like even like in the Black culture as well, there's a mentality that you're a sellout. There's this sellout mentality. There's this, if you get too successful, then regardless of if you've worked hard to get there, whatever the case may be, you had to sell out in some way. Like there was some sort of, you can't reach past a certain level without selling out in some fashion or whatever. So it's a stigma that ends up happening or whatever within our community. So it's like recognizing those different things and realizing that you can do as good as you need to do. You can do all these different things or whatever, because what I was starting to see for me specifically is by holding myself back on certain times or whatever, it was starting to impact me a lot more. It was starting to, like, at first, like I'd be fine with that. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. I can just kind of just stay here. But then it's like, there came a certain point in my life where like I couldn't hold myself back anymore. I couldn't be like, oh man, I'm gonna just stay here anymore. It's like I had to just basically just kind of realize that, I have these different dreams in me, I have these different ideas in me, and these things excite me. You know what I mean? These are the things that excite me. These other things that I was doing previously don't really excite me that much. These other things, they don't do anything for me. They don't nourish me. They don't what's the word I'm looking for? They don't nourish me. They don't fulfill me in a way. You know what I mean? And I think that as you get older in life, like I'm now 31. So as you get older in life, it's like you want to look for these things that really can bring a lot of value into your life, because you're starting to realize that you're not the young person that you were anymore. You don't have to chase after people the way that you used to chase after them. You don't have to do all these different things or whatever. So this process that I'm going through right now, understanding this is part of the maturation, of Alex for photography, whatever the case may be. but it's like, I wanted to document this. I wanted to like approach some of this stuff because I know it's a big issue amongst the community. It's a big issue amongst a lot of my peers. It's a big issue amongst a lot of people that I see and stuff like that or whatever. And it's the issue of trying to better yourself without alienating yourself from the people that you were connected with before before you came up or blowed up or whatever the case may be or whatever. And it's about kind of a fear of like, you know, there's like this thing of like staying true and stuff like that or whatever. And like you don't want to like be like, oh, my head's getting big or whatever. But also at the same time, like as you mature, sometimes there's certain relationships and there's certain people that you have to leave behind. You know what I mean? And because of that, and because of knowing that, sometimes it's scary. It's scary to go through different changes or whatever. And I was just realizing that there was a lot of resistance, you know, to making certain changes that I needed to make within myself and even for my business. So I wanted to just talk about that or whatever. This is the first episode of I'm Just Asking for a Friend, where I'm going to tackle a lot of just harder questions, a lot of different things or whatever. So if you have any advice, you know what I'm saying, for somebody who might be going through that, if you have advice for my friend, not me, my friend, if you have any advice for my friend on how he could deal with dealing with the fear of success, you know what I'm saying, definitely comment below. You know what I'm saying, this is gonna be all on my YouTube channel. Definitely come to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. I'll put some links somewhere around here, whatever the case may be or whatever. And yeah, definitely check it out. And yeah, follow me. I'm gonna be doing more of this stuff. And definitely 2018, I'm gonna be putting out a lot more content or whatever. And definitely everybody who's been supporting me so far, I appreciate you guys, love you guys. Everybody who's supported my business so far, definitely mad props to everybody out there or whatever. So definitely look forward to the next video. Boom.